Hello, I am Kodili-nye, the son of the wonderful. Welcome back to another round of street vlogging, where we discuss issues that pertain to the homeland, Nigeria, and every other thing. And recently, you heard what was happening in Lagos, what the P2B was saying in Lagos that draw both the local attention to Nigeria in a bad way. And before I introduce our discussion today, remember that you need to like, you need to comment, you need to share, and as you do, you are helping us to improve what we're bringing to you. And I do believe that you do love to help us to improve things. And let me say that I'm so Kodili-nye, the son of the wonderful. Recently, you heard the uproar and negative publicity being on Nigeria because of the criminal mindedness of establishments in Nigeria, not following due process and the lawlessness. And it's sad that the whole thing is happening to a place they call Lagos, a place supposed to be the center for excellence in Nigeria. But over the years, it has not shown to be truly a center for excellence because many thousands of people has lost their properties dubious way through interference by government-backed militias and government-backed aburos and biabakums and the riffraffs that parade themselves as the owners of the land, or Wambes and others. And those riffraffs are backed by the corrupt politicians and governments in the states to perpetuate lawlessness. And there's totally lawlessness being perpetuated that many people lost their properties after paying huge sums of money to buy all those lands. And in spite of the hardship in the country, and in spite of the Lagos being a place that's supposed to be to showcase the best of Nigeria, are being thrown into the mud because some of those politicians think it doesn't matter. They will continue to do that. They allow all those things to continue to foster over and over again. And I could remember for the past 10 years, this has escalated to the extent that it's actually affecting the cohesiveness and the unity of the country, because Lagos is supposed to be a place for to showcase that truly Nigeria is a nation of 21st century and it's supposed to be a 21st century city and being built by actually the resources from Nigeria. It should have shown the tendency to accommodate all and to show true excellency and rule of law. And every eyes is on Lagos, foreigners, investors, and all those things. And looking at what is happening to the local people, what is happening to local businessmen, the investors, local investors, all those foreigners are beginning to take note of these things and beginning to be wary of investing in Lagos because of the non-regard to the laws of Nigeria, which protects property rights and other things. You can imagine people, after buying a piece of land, building on it, somebody will just come up, one riffraff, aburo or something will just come up and say that he got the order from his ballet or from his oba and all those things, or from whatever they call themselves, and say, oh, you're going to pay the money again. And the people pay. The next minute again, another person will come up and start bulldozing the same property that he got a court injunction. And these court injunctions, you can see how it's fabricated and all those things. Does it mean that people cannot buy properties anymore? And when you ask the government, he say, oh, they don't follow due process. What due process again? That people that after investing billions will just lose it like that, and the government is just making it as if it doesn't matter, you know. And some of them are being perpetrated under selfish and ethnic orientation, ethnic cleansing and other things. So because of this, it's sad that this has continued over the years and nobody want to solve it. But now it seems that the P2B's intervention may go a long way to hit them very hard, because the publicity this thing is generating. Remember, a lot of people has cried over the heavens and nobody hears them because they don't have anybody to speak for them. Nobody want to intervene in these cases. Even Nigerian government, the federal government, doesn't feel nonchalant about this. They don't know the damage this is doing to Nigeria as a country. They just keep quiet. Now P2B recently has a brother who has bought a property as part of a company, and they have built structures there for 11 years. The property is there. Suddenly one unknown figure just come up, allegedly said that that he got a court injunction. The next minute he gathered all the police. You know, the police is part of the problem in Nigeria. They're supposed to be law keepers, but they are the number one law breakers in Nigeria. Very, very corrupt establishment. And the next thing you know is that the property is being bulldozed, and the brother of P2B called him and said, look at what is happening. They are asking who is doing this, where did you get the court injunction, we are not served anything. Well, how come this is happening over the night? The property we have bought in Ikeja in Lagos, why should this thing be happening? The money we are investing on this place. And P2B has to rush down from Lagos, from Abuja to Lagos, and start actually bringing out publicity about this things. And he said he waited for 4 hours and was asking who is that person that says they own the property, and nobody is appearing. And he looked at the legal documents and all of them were saying unknown people. So basically that's Nigeria has become a laughing stock in the community of nations, where there is no rule of law. You now ask yourself, the governor of the state, can he do things right in a place we call a center of excellence? How about the president, knowing Nigeria is like a commercial capital of Nigeria? Why can't the president, in spite that he being a governor of that state, he has not actually shown himself as a person that keeps the law as well, even when he was a governor? You know that. You know the story about what has happened, even during the past elections. You know the story. I don't need to, there was allegations of fiddlings and other things, allegedly. But you can understand, and recruitment of a lot of riffraffs. So these are continued, and somebody has to come and stop this mess, because the country is going down the drain. Things are getting harder, and the government seems to not bothered about changing things, because they want the country to continue going down the drain and promising the people that the country is getting better. But in the street, nothing is getting better, because somebody will move into your property, the next minute bulldoze the property. The next minute I saw the army going to nearby villages and destroying their houses in the name of the community should now go away because the army barrack is very near, the land that belongs to the ancestors. And there are a lot of things you hear about bribery and corruptions. But this is very, very sad happening in Lagos, a place that's supposed to showcase Nigeria in a good light. So meaning that nobody is safe in his own country. That's what it means. So if the locals cannot be safe in their own country, what about a foreigner that is going to invest in the country? Meaning that the place is not good for any investment. So what am I saying? It's not only in Lagos. I can see what has happened to an investor in Anambra State also, which when Governor Chukwuma Soludo came to London, and one of the investors said, look, I invested money, and one man, and the man happened to be even a relation of Governor Chukwuma Soludo, And instead of the governor dealing with it, you know what he said? He said, go to court. Instead of coming that in this state we will not allow this because it's damaging the state image and scaring away investors. He said, go to court. That I've been in court for years. So that's not showing leadership. That's the main thing. Because those criminals masquerading knows that the judiciary in Nigeria is very corrupt. You can forge court papers and do whatever. And an investor that wanted to create jobs, create opportunity for people, will have to fight on his own for 30 years just to recover his money from criminals. So that's has shown you the level of impunity in Nigeria, where the politician doesn't care. They don't bother if the people are eating, if the people have jobs. They don't bother about rules of rules of law, and they don't bother that the country is going down the drain, that things are getting harder, that the investors and people's rights must be protected. They don't bother. They just say nonchalant attitudes. In that case, that's actually mad. Soludo's visit to London and make his visit to be totally failure, because a lot of people come to actually listen to him, what he's doing to create a enabling environment, making that the investors are protected. But actually, he has nothing to say to them. He show you are on your own, do on your own, whatever you do, and you come to us. And that's the worst visit he has ever paid abroad. And that's why nobody was taking him for serious. So when he went, it was a failure. Every analyst was saying this is not how to market a state, that as a chief marketer of the state and a chief law officer of the state, it should not allow those things to be happening in your state, because the government, they have the power in order to stop all those things and make sure that it doesn't happen under their watch. And this shows you how the country has gone down the drain. So this one of Lagos come up and people were talking about it. In spite of these things, you can't believe what the government of Lagos and even federal government were putting out. They turned it into a political game instead of dealing with the issue. You know, that's one thing with Nigeria. When P2B was talking about what the government need to do to invest in agriculture, they were calling him names. And now look at what is happening in the country. Even when he talked about security, when he talked about investing in major infrastructures, they were calling him names. Now they now turn about and started saying they want to invest in this. After wasting people's time, many lives lost, many infrastructures destroyed, insecurity everywhere, farmers chased, and now they are talking about investing in agriculture after 2 years of no performance at all. But this time around, the same old story. Instead of dealing with the issue, what is the issue? The lawlessness. How can a person with so much impunity turn into somebody's property? So the government of the state should have come in and said, we will not allow this in our state. If you are caught involved in this, you'll be jailed for 30 years. The government can do that, and this will discourage the criminals from operating in the state. So that's what we are talking about. Lagos is supposed to be Nigeria answer to the best, but unfortunately the politicians has a different answer. They don't want to improve anything. Rather, they continue to pretend as if things are moving, but actually on the streets nothing is moving. Things are getting harder for people and the country is going down the drain. I don't know what you think about that. In this street vlogging, we say it as it is. We are not afraid to say what we think and what we think should be done right. I don't know what's your own opinion, but go to the comment section and drop whatever you think, and we will continue to talk until our homeland be the best in the whole world. See you in the next one. I am so Kodili-nye, the son of wonderful, and have a wonderful time wherever you are. Bye.